This is Deborah Johnson for Women at Halftime, and I'm passionate about helping women use their untapped skills, resources, and talents to create their ideal work and lifestyle, making a difference in their second half. Well, hello, this is Deborah Johnson here. Good to be back here with you today, and I'm here with Greg.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, and we are approaching the subject, making family holidays fun, not stressful. And are we stressed over this one?
No.
No, we think we have some good little tips because we go through our plans every year and doing this as well. So hopefully
we will it's fun to start thinking about the holidays.
Of course.
Especially after being locked inside all summer.
Definitely. So, and we are, as this airs, we are right in holiday season, definitely. So, a reminder about a couple things that right now, this month, Learn Music Again is available. That membership, if you are on the VIP, you get a free song into your inbox every month with a video to learn that and access to all our online courses. And make sure you check that out. Again, learnmusicagain.com. And then the membership is only available through this month. You can get the other courses at any time, but make sure you take advantage of that. We also have, of course, a lot of sheet music that you can download immediately and CDs, and you can look those up, goalsforyourlife.com/Christmas-songs. You'll see some there as well. So, and also on DJ Works Music. So, anyway, that should give you enough to pursue. So we're going to get right to this subject of making family holidays, fun. When people hear the word family, sometimes they think about stress or getting together. And there's no magic bullet for making family holidays fun, but we do have some tips for making them less stressful, especially for us, and more enjoyable. And you brought up something really interesting when we were talking about this, and let us in on that, what chance we have here with the holidays.
Yeah, when we were raising kids, a lot of times discipline was about restoring relationships. So, the kids had done something wrong, and they knew that they had broken a household rule, so the relationship was, needing repair, and discipline was about restoring that relationship so that whatever was wrong was right again, and we could move on. And Deb and I were talking, and it was interesting. You don't see family throughout the year, a lot, and it's not a time for restoring relationships, but it could be a time for renewing relationships.
Yeah.
And making sure that you just have time to reconnect. Mm-hmm. And, it doesn't take deep conversations, but just something that is enjoyable, something, a weekend to look forward to throughout the year.
Right.
Where people know they're going to reconnect, that there's not going to be a lot of expectations on them. Mm-hmm. And, it's just something to look forward to. And that's kind of what holidays should be, right?
Right. I think we end up putting a lot of expectations on ourselves. And so we want to just, first of all, kind of define what our goals should be. We're going to make it simple. And we end up adding to our stress, our personal stress, when we our expectations are so high, I think, of just on others, especially. That's a big one.
We lived through a lot of this when we started hosting holidays, early in our marriage.
Yes.
And, we put way unbelievable expectations on, how we were going to pull this off. We had to get new dishes, new placemats, clean the house, make sure all the kids looked perfect.
Yeah.
At least for the picture.
Yes. Christmas picture when you have it on Thanksgiving. I still remember the time too. And my mom responded so well. I mean, I'm sure she went in and there were things I didn't see. But she had a really interesting family from a dozen kids and all of that. And she had invited everyone one Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving meal and prepared. My mom loved, she's a great little cook, had everything set. She loves a beautiful table. And no one showed up.
From her side of the
From
family.
her side
right.
of the family. No one should. How disappointing. So I think, I keep remembering that, how hard that would be for me to accept.
Yeah. Fortunately, that never happened to us.
That has not happened to us. No, we've had.
But we have had some stressful holidays. But to be fair, we've had some great ones too.
Yes,
so,
we definitely have. And, as we're looking at this time, this has been a really interesting year, 2020, as this episode comes out. And as we're thinking ahead for holidays, as we are gathering our family, we don't know who's going to show up. I mean, we have one son who is a first responder. So a lot of times he has to work, or he has, a family that they've got, like 3 families, because she has, his wife has, a step family as well. So we just don't know on that end. We have one of our sons is across the country right now and has tournaments that were pushed with the COVID. They were pushed even on holiday weekends. So we don't know what's ahead with that. We feel very confident that he'll be here at Christmas, but Thanksgiving, we don't know. And then, the third will be the one that will probably for sure be here, because he has a shorter flight.
But still, he's an hour flight away.
But he's an hour flight away,
Yeah.
which is, So it just becomes interesting, just different,
and then we got brothers and sisters that live kind of locally. They're an hour or two away. But, they've got extended families and juggling schedules. So
right.
You never know who's going to show up.
Yeah. So I think this year we want to make it easy. We want to make it fun for us.
And I think the thing you wanted to stress is that you want it to be fun, but you want it to first of all be fun for us.
Yes. Yeah. And that should be in our planning.
Right.
That no matter what,
or who,
we're not depending on others for our own fun and for our own enjoyment.
And for our own memorable holiday.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And I think that at this stage of life that we are at with adult children, you don't want to tie the strings so hard that they're...
You don't want your enjoyment of a holiday dependent on all those variables of adult children who may or may not show up.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so I think I've got some little steps here. Number one, we're gonna talk about our planning, our realistic expectations, and then we will plan the fun and how to do that. Is that the second one? And then how to make your priorities. That'll be the third. And then kind of with what could be some memory stickers. And we'll do that to the fourth little one. So let's talk about first our realistic expectations, or the planning. So how we go about, doing that. And I think, first of all, contacting everyone that, we're looking forward to the holidays pretty much. But this is kind of prompting us to even start the conversations we have with our son Dave, who's across the country. We've started that. And we know Dan is, he's in Sacramento. He'll fly down. But we have no idea with Mike and with his schedule. So,
before you can do too much planning, you got to figure out who's going to be here.
Yeah, exactly. And then just kind of, start doing that. And we have to say, what are we going to do? What's the worst and what's the best, and how are we going to go ahead and celebrate?
Right.
So I think in that sort of planning, at least putting start the conversation. Don't put off starting the conversation
right
early enough. And we are right at, even as we are producing this, we are right at the crest of starting to plan all of those holidays, definitely. So anyway, and then as we plan, we want to make it enticing and enjoyable. Plan it not only for who's going to be here, but for us. And so, who can come, whoever can come, making it enjoyable. So you had mentioned, we'll talk about this, the stuff to do. Those will be the memory stickers more. But I think that's in expectations.
Well, as we think about planning the fun, you start with which guests are going to be there.
Yeah.
And then, in general, guys like any kind of competition, and gals like projects. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not an Annie Oakley in the crowd that wants to compete with the guys, and that doesn't mean that there's, not a perfectionist guy that really enjoys making sure that things turn out right.
Yeah.
So that, it gets back to knowing your guest.
Yes, it does.
But I mean, if you think about planning and you just throw some goofy competition things or have some projects. If you're going to have overnight guests, maybe you plan a movie, that everybody would enjoy and watch.
Right.
And
many Thanksgivings, what we would end up doing when we had Dan and Dave here is we'd go out to see a movie that night.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd go to the late movie, and I'm not a night
back
owl.
when the movie
When they were open.
They used to have new releases on Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, and it was really, really fun to be able to go do that. And of course, now we can get a lot on our home screens and all of that, and we can just kind of plan on doing that and plan which one to rent. So,
but if you plan it, then one of them's not going to watch it ahead of time.
Yes,
make sure. Okay, this is what we're going to watch. Don't watch it before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and make it fun for us. And I usually, what was the one? No, we were on a ski vacation and we saw like. It wasn't The Princess Bride, but it was something like that the boys will never let me forget. It was a real chick flick. Okay,
it was a romantic comedy.
It was a romantic comedy, and it was the only thing because we were skiing, but it was some sort of holiday that we were skiing.
Yeah, they were all teenagers.
Yes,
and they're
teenage
watching
boys.
a chick flick with their mom.
And the only seats available were in the front row.
Yeah, there you go.
And so it did create some memories. They'll never let me forget that. And just some of the things that I've planned.
Well, you're all about creating memories at the holidays.
I am. And they, but I'm out there. I'm right out there. Although you guys have done a lot of tape ball and all of that, because you and your brother
flag
did that.
Football.
And flag. You guys have done all of that, and it's fun, and I can, usually.
Not everybody here knows what tape ball is. So tape ball is basically baseball in your backyard, but you use a wad-up piece of newspaper wrapped in duct tape, so it can't break any windows.
Yeah, that's key. It can't break any windows.
Right.
Did your mom come up with that?
No, we came up to that after my mom warned us that our dad was going to kill us.
Oh, okay, all right. Because you guys did a lot of it, and then when we were at your parents, and it just continued. And almost every single holiday, you take out those bats and do the tape ball. That was kind of one of the traditions, and basketball. That we would go, and it was right there. Elise was right there. My niece, and she was right there in them. I tell you, she was very athletic. She could hold her own on anything. So it was really pretty fun, and she'd always be competing with her cousins. So, and just to make it fun. And something, but it's easy. See, that's very, very easy. So not to make it so hard that you have, that it's not stressful. When we're talking about not stressful, and if they don't do it, it's fine too. Just to make it fun, just enticing. Anyway, and last Thanksgiving, I had bought another. Actually, we had our same fake Christmas tree because having a dad who's a fireman and having a tree that was so dry, I finally broke down, bought a fake one, but it was like 30 years old.
Yeah.
So I bought a new one last year, and actually I bought a second one. And that was a really, really fun time of just, we had everybody's help during the holidays to put that tree up.
Now, you're getting ahead of yourself.
I know, I am getting ahead.
We're going to talk about that later.
Yes, okay, so I'm going to wait for that because you have to realize there are implications because when they left, we had to take it down. Okay. Okay, so that's, making it enticing, enjoyable, all fun, but just plan, at least something that you can do.
A few things,
A few things that you can do.
Yeah, you don't get into the habit of just turning on the TV and watching whatever football game's on.
Yeah.
Add some things that either all the girls can participate in and all the guys can participate in it, or the whole group can participate in it. Yeah,
that'd be really fun.
And that'll make it more memorable.
Yeah, it will make it more memorable. So anyway, and making it simple. This was my third point because especially focusing on food. because what happens many times, and this is coming from, especially from traditional families through the years, because it was my grandmother did this, my mom did this, it was all the way through the families. The women were in there doing the food and just taking, oh, goodness, forever. So, trying to make it simple enough and prepare early enough so I can sit down and have a glass of wine with my family.
I think, for some families, preparing the meal is a group project.
Yes, it is.
And that can be part of the fun.
Right.
But we raised 3 boys.
Yes.
So Debbie found herself creating the dinner all by herself.
Yeah.
While I tried to keep the boys busy and out of her hair.
Yeah.
So, a sophisticated, Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner was a project she had to do all by herself.
Yeah.
And
that's not always, always
even though she enjoyed it, it would have been more fun with, a sister-in-law and or a sister.
Yeah, right.
In there and
right.
jibber-jabbering and
right. And when we do have guests, they because they brought stuff.
Well, when they finally get here,
and when because we're in LA and you never know traffic. Traffic has been horrendous some years.
It still leaves a lot of the load on you.
It does.
So.
No, it definitely does.
Now, some people probably like all of that.
Of course they do. And there
you
are
just happen to be not one of those.
No. I'm going to be out there watching everything. But also there are some families, and this is not to be, that all sons are just not helping them. Because I know they will pitch in now, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
now.
my gosh.
But I was thinking back when they were teenagers,
when they were,
early 20s.
Oh, they didn't have the attention span.
No,
There's just no way they had that. At least our boy. That was what was, typical of our sons. So, and I grew up with sisters. We were in the kitchen with my mom.
Exactly.
It was that we were all bustling and getting everything, and we'd talk and we'd laugh, and that's
the
where we were.
4 of you doing it together.
Oh, we all did it together.
Right.
And then, you guys, because then that's when the sports were on, or you guys, it was different with your family and mine. But we were all together, so it was just a different makeup there.
When I was growing up, my grandmother and my mom did it together.
Yes, they did. And that was, and then we would pitch in when we got there. Again, there's travel times.
Well, after we got married.
Yeah, and after we got married.
Before we were married.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, to make it simple enough, and usually I am trying to do that more and more. So the pie is done before, I just... all of the kind of prep that I can have before. And our kids, they like, even on Thanksgiving, they like beef. They're not turkey lovers, which is really pretty funny. But I decided that, we're only going to have so many Thanksgivings, and you never know who's all going to be here now. I'm going to have beef. I'm going to have what my kids enjoy.
Yeah, and their go-to is tri-tip or
it's like
beef roast?
Yeah, it is some... it's a really good piece. That's all I know. But I pay for that, because this is part of our creating memories, and I just have to put the...
Well, and part of, I think, renewing relationship is lots of little small token gestures of appreciation.
Right.
That you appreciate your son by serving a meal that they really like.
Right.
Yeah. And I think throughout the day, if the parents can just sneak in times where you sincerely say things that you appreciate about your kids and about your extended family, do it on an individual basis and just say, it's so good to see you. I've thought a lot about you over the last couple of months and just appreciate, how hard you work, or appreciate what a great job you did raising your daughter, or, something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to be appreciated, and those small little touches add to making it an enjoyable moment to look forward to every year.
Yeah. And, what happens is many holidays just end up being a fight, or something comes up, and that's a real mindset to say, let's put this aside for today.
Yeah.
And it's anyway. But it's not easy. it's just, sometimes that's just not easy. You want to bring everything
Yeah,
up
you
and
would
make
you would
that
love
chance,
it if
take
all
that
the
chance.
relatives would leave their junk in the car.
Yeah.
But lots of them enjoy bringing it into the house.
That's right. How to mitigate that is just interesting. So anyway, as I'm thinking about, you have one uncle now that's still alive, and he's turning 90 soon.
Right.
And one of the things I always remember when he comes, I don't know, he has a bottomless trunk of his car. I think because he will bring out more pictures and just want to sit and share them. And as I'm thinking at this stage of his life, this is his chance to share all of his memories. And we want to give people a chance to do that. Mm-hmm. And as we are creating these little memory stickers, and I don't know what he's going to do this year because he's not gone out a lot. And we would love to have him here, but we don't know what that's going to look like at all.
Yeah.
So,
and now you mentioned that, most of the people who were eyewitnesses of the 30s, the Great Depression, have already passed.
Yeah.
And now we've got people who were eyewitnesses of the 40s and the 50s. If you don't capture their eyewitness stories now, you're going to miss out and only be able to read about it.
Yeah.
Being able to ask them questions, and, when you ask people questions, you're appreciating them.
Yeah.
When you ask about their memories, their opinions, it's one of the most wonderful things you can, do for somebody is to solicit their opinions, solicit their memories, accommodation.
Yeah.
Because with my uncle, a lot of the memories come with opinions.
Yes.
And whether I agree with them or not, it's fascinating to hear why and how those opinions developed.
Yeah, and giving them a chance. We don't know how much longer we have. And
90, this could be the last one. He seems perfectly healthy.
Yeah, he does. He's just...
At some point, you start pushing the envelope.
That's right. I mean, the sharpest wit. I tell you, he's just really amazing. But, giving them a chance and to share those, his pictures, his memories, and to sit around and be able to do that. And I don't think we take enough time to do that. I always thought, well, my parents just like to just sit around, they're not out doing something. And I realize now they were starting to share more memories. They were starting to realize the time is passing. We want to make sure we take advantage of these times because the holidays are usually the time that you gather together. And I was even thinking, we haven't even talked about this, but, when you're not able to even get together on the actual holidays, you need to make other times throughout the year to celebrate.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's because sometimes we put all the expectations on that day.
Right.
And you want to give people a chance and family a chance to say, what if they have to work, or what if they have other pressures? What if they, stuff's not going, they have conflicts, and to say, okay, so let's do another time.
Right.
I've done that a lot on my birthday, but having a birthday right before Christmas and you have one right after, but I'd rather we do, you help me. You are great celebrating my birthday, but it's always been, I've always taken the attitude so many times, if I had a job come up that I wanted to work on my birthday, I definitely took, if it was, especially around Christmas, it was a very good paying job.
Right.
I was going to take that job. So, sometimes you need to work around, some of those things with our family, but realize as we are approaching traditional holidays, make some other times holidays as well, and it doesn't put all the pressure on a day or on one particular.
Yeah. So make it on a moment as opposed to a day.
Yeah. I think that's a really, really good point here. And you had mentioned something in the past, too, of just doing something together as, maybe you have a project you want to do together and are making cookies for a needy family Christmas cookies.
So with guys, it's easy to do, competitions. But projects is another way to bring people together and create wonderful moments.
Yeah.
And again, you have to. It depends on the guest that you got
there.
But at Thanksgiving, the next holiday is Christmas.
Yeah.
So, like one thing that just accidentally happened last year, and Debbie started to allude to it, is we put up our new Christmas tree, and immediately all of the girls wanted to start decorating it. and so before too long, there's two women up on ladders in the tree, and the guys are handing them the right ornament at the right time. And, we all kind of did it together, but, it was really initiated by the women kind of thing. And it created a wonderful moment. And Debbie and I got our Christmas tree decorated.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
It was cool. I threw up an idea that some people sell Christmas cookies or candy during the Christmas holidays. Well, one of the things you could do is after Thanksgiving dinner, if there's people that enjoy that project, clear out the kitchen, bring out the ingredients, and crank out the Christmas candy. Batches and batches and batches of it. Because if you're doing it together, you're having fun.
You're having fun, and you're talking at the same time.
Something else, a lot of people send things to the troops overseas at Christmas.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to put together the shoe boxes of stuff to send to the soldiers, everybody bring their, toys and cans and whatever else you put into those boxes. And, you put those together as a family. And, then they're all ready to go. And perhaps you get a letter back by Christmas, that you can read to the family, thanking everybody for what happened. Whatever the project is, again, the projects depend on the guests.
It really does, because that kind of initiated a little idea, because we did some, boxes for soldiers last year. But it'd be so much fun to do it with our granddaughters.
Yeah.
And to actually put them in the box, for them to put in the boxes would be really fun. And then to, wrap them and do all of the stuff that we needed to do. So, but that, again, and it depends on what everything looks like and who's going to be here and coordinating all that. So if you can, kind of plan ahead, and usually I try to have projects for them to, keep busy and do a little something, when they're young, when you've got very young grandkids. Was it last year that it was so crazy that we had enough crying kids? One of our nieces had twins, very young twins. And then, Jessica had I think it was a 1-year-old, 1.5. It was, it was a lot of young activity. So, you just have to be flexible enough. And of course, our sons who were not married that were there, they don't have nearly as much patience. It's
strange,
amazing. Huh? You're going, okay, so don't let this hold you back from having. Yeah,
they're looking at the watches, going, "Is it time to go play basketball?"
Yeah, I know. That's pretty funny. So, anyway, so let's just kind of review here a little bit, and I want to give you a chance for anything else to add, because this season is upon us. Just to realize, I loved the comment of focusing on renewing relationships, not making it so stressful that, this is not a counseling session.
Holidays are not times to try to restore relationships.
No, it's not a restoring time.
But they're also not times to avoid relationships.
No, it's not. And if it comes up,
it's a time for just a nice, gentle touch and reconnecting.
Yeah, and if something's said, you can say, you know what, why don't we just talk about that later?
Yeah.
And you know what, let me call you this week, or let's deal with that later. So it doesn't go out of hand. But again, that has to be a mindset. You come in before it, you're going to go, okay, I think this person might do this and that. I mean, you're just going to know. You know those people. Anybody listening, you know those people.
Yep.
So, number one is to plan. Those are those realistic expectations. And number two, you want to plan the fun for not only the guests, but you. And I want to have fun. I just want to enjoy where we're at and the time and who can be here and making it enticing. And making it fun, enjoyable, decorating enough that you are just going to love being able to. And you can do that so simply. It does not need to cost a lot, doesn't anything. And, if all your family can't get together, why not invite some other people that don't have anywhere to go?
Yeah.
Why not do that? So, open that up. This might be the year to do that for you. You don't know because people may not be traveling. Who knows?
Right.
And making it simple and mainly for the preparer, but also for anyone else if you are doing the actual hosting, just to make it simple enough that you're not so tied up and you can't visit and enjoy the people. You don't want to focus on just the stuff, but you want to, and the preparing, but you want to focus on your people. It's all about people, in those relationships. And then to be able to get some good memory stickers, that you can do something, some sort of something together, or bring something. If you're going somewhere, bring something that you can share. And we usually do a little something. Even last year, I wasn't quite organized and couldn't find the leaves I wanted to, because usually I do for Thanksgiving. We write something we're thankful for on leaves. But I put stars all over the table. I think it was one of our granddaughters says, Harper says, "Oh, we have to do the stars. What you are thankful for." And that was what it was all about, to go around the table, what you're thankful for. And then you have to hand the star to somebody else. So, create just something. And that was just kind of off the cuff. So that was a lot of fun. Anything else that you want to mention here on?
No, I think that nails it. I'd re-stress the idea that with the older members of your family, let them talk about their memories. I think something that I'm experiencing as I get older is I want my kids to know me.
Yeah.
I raised them. They probably get my values, but they don't know all my stories.
Yeah.
And, as years go by, I'm going to forget the stories. Appreciating my uncle and his stories, he tells the stories because he wants to be known.
Yeah.
He wants me to know him, my brother to know him. And so maybe keep that perspective as you're sharing time with the older mom and dad or the uncles or the aunts. They may seem a little crazy at times, but I think as we leave this earth, we long to be known.
Yeah.
And I think part of what heaven is the joy of knowing that we'll be known by God in a really remarkable, intimate way.
Yes.
And that's part of what we celebrate at the holidays.
Yes. Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. Oh, what a great note to end that on. And yes, to be known. Yeah. And that's and I think your point of, as we gracefully, I always say, growing older, but you just find, wow, how many more holidays do we have really left? None of us know.
I know.
So, don't want to panic. You just want to enjoy every one.
That, frankly, is why we did this podcast.
Yes, it is.
We thought, we may only have 20 Thanksgivings left.
Yes, yeah.
And you said, we need to make sure we have fun at every one of them.
Every single one. Every one.
But when you put a minimal number on it and you realize, my uncle may have less than 5.
Yes.
And I may only have 20.
Right.
It's,
It's more so. It's sobering at that
point. It's very sobering, and it clarifies and brings focus to the conversation.
It does, and I think because we both have lost both of our parents within the last 5 years too, and that really puts that focus on. So anyway, well, hey, Thank you for joining us today. It's always fun to have Greg on with me. He is on with me once a month, so make sure go back and listen to the past ones too. We had some great times together. And as you listen, please subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And I'd love it if you leave me a review, but also share it with your friends and your colleagues, because I am doing these podcasts, these episodes, because I care about you. I care about those who are at the halftime of life, which is officially over the age of 40. I know it comes awfully, awfully quick. But who especially, they need encouragement, they need prodding to use their skills, talents, and resources at this time of life, and also to live their ideal life and be in their ideal work. I want to help you in that journey. So you can reach me anytime at womenathalftime.com, at goalsforyourlife.com. And next week, do not miss next week. Do not. It's all about calling upon your inner strength. You have it. You need to hear this episode because right now we are coming off this pandemic. People they're restless, they're tired, they're stuck, they're discouraged. You need to hear this message and you need to share that message. It is a powerful one, so make sure that you tune in. So this is Greg.
Okay.
Yeah. And Deborah Johnson saying goodbye for now, and I will see you, or I'll talk to you next time. Thank you for joining us on Women at Halftime. Visit goalsforyourlife.com or womenathalftime.com for many more resources, downloads, and programs, or to get in touch with me. I'd love it if you leave me a review and tell your friends. So until next time, this is Deborah Johnson, signing off.